Several years ago, I'm talking about real back in the days, Valve actually was supposed to come out with a console. It was called, well, I don't remember. Steam Machine. The Steam Machine. Valve was supposed to come out with the Steam Machine, but they pulled a plug. They didn't do it. It was a mess when I saw it. It was all over the place. Basically, it was supposed to be like a PC slash console, or rather a console like PC, if that makes sense. See, even when you put it together, it still doesn't make sense. Is it a PC? Is it a console? You get what I'm saying? So I see why it didn't work. Now Valve, they're not console makers. They don't know anything about making a console. All Valve is just a website that sells video games. And don't get me wrong, I love Steam. I think Steam has the best launcher, the best setup over Epic Games, over any and everything. I really do like Steam setup. How you log on to their website, you see the latest games, the newest games, the sales, which games are selling a whole lot, which games are doing good. You have your wish list category. Steam definitely has the best storefront, hands down. I kind of wish Nintendo did their eShop like that, especially with the Switch 2 that's coming out. It'll be really nice. I love Valve setup, man. Valve is such a cool company. I really like Valve. I support Valve. Last time I checked, I have over, I'm not sure if I have 500 games, but it's creeping on 500 games in my library. So I probably have like 400 and something plus games. Almost 500 games on my Steam, guys. That's ridiculous. But the reason for that is you guys already know that Steam, hands down, has the best sales. Every day, every week, they rotate their sales. You can get games, $70 games for like $10, $12, $20, $30. Sometimes even a dollar, $2. I mean, you can't beat that. So your dollar goes far with Steam. So if you have $100, you can only buy one $70 game, right? And if you're lucky enough to find a game for $20, $30, then you can get probably 2 games, physical games at that. But with Steam having sales as low as $2, $20, $12, $13, your $100 bill goes a long way. And that's how I ended up with a lot of games, guys. Every time I spend $100, I get a handful of games. I check out a handful of games, and every week I would buy several games. So those games add up. And I had my PC for about maybe 3 years now. So you think about me buying a handful of games every week that I get paid. In 3 years, that mount up to almost 500 games. So, sorry for going off rails, guys, but let's really tackle this Steam set-top box situation. Now, Xbox is already on its way out. According to me, from what I see, they're already out of the game. So, it is a perfect time for somebody to step in, and so Sony could have a challenger to help them step their game. Because if Sony just sits there by themselves, they probably won't even try. But you know, Nintendo gives them competition as well, even though people may not want to admit that. But when people say Sony may need a competition, they may need some competition. I get it. Like someone that's on their caliber as far as they're into the high fidelity graphics and whatnot. We know Nintendo gave up on graphics a long time ago. They're all about fun, making great games and great exclusive. That's what makes them stand out more than anybody else. On top of that, the creativity. So, in my personal opinion, I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't know how I feel about it, guys. Honestly, like I really think it sounds good on paper that Steam is coming out with a system, but in reality, what do they know about hardware? The Steam Deck is only popular amongst YouTubers. Most people in the real world, especially like I would say a year or two ago, didn't even know what a Steam Deck was if you ask them on the street. And I only see maybe like 1 to 2 people with the Steam Deck actually in person. Most people don't care about the Steam Deck. Most people prefer to go get a Nintendo Switch, and I see why they'd rather get a Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch, you just download the games or you pop the cartridge and you play. You don't have to do any crazy configuration to find the right TDP to make the game play in 60 FPS or above. And when you're playing, when you have a console like the Steam Deck, you actually have to start playing by the handheld slash console rules, which means limitations. The Steam Deck has a limitation. The Steam Deck is not really powerful. Out of all the PC handhelds I have, the Steam Deck is the weakest one. It struggles to play a lot of games in 60 FPS, and it doesn't look as great as, say, the ROG Ally and the Legion Go, for example. So it's my least favorite handheld, but it's the closest thing to the Switch because, like, you know, you can just pretty much just download your games and play it. You don't have to worry about a whole bunch of other stuff, but you still have to worry about configurations, just setting TDP, and the long boot up time, load up time to start the game. It's kind of annoying, and you have to adjust your controls for games that doesn't really fit the control scheme on the actual unit itself. So Valve taking Xbox place, I can definitely see that as a perfect time. But it sounds good on paper, guys, but in reality, I don't think it will work because a lot of people out there, the gaming masses, I'm not just talking about the hardcore people like myself or those YouTubers who actually game hardcore on PC and know about Steam and its games. You have to look at, Valve has to really look at the situation like, okay, who are we directing the system to? Who's the system for? If you're aiming for the Sony crowd and Nintendo crowd, it's definitely not going to work. Which has a bigger fan base, if I may say so. So, a lot of people in the world, the average Joe, moms and dads and the kids, are going to say, "What's that? Nah, I'm good. I'll just stick to my PlayStation. I'll stick to my." People are going to stick to what they know, guys. Gamers, especially most casual gamers, are going to stick to what they know. You understand what I'm saying? I can't convince, you know what I'm saying, my old lady's son that, hey, the Nintendo Switch is better than the Xbox, the PlayStation is better than the Xbox. He doesn't care about that. He just used to what he's used to. He's going to support what he's used to. So Valve has to ask themselves, who are they targeting this console for? Because if they're going after the PlayStation and the Nintendo crowd, which is the biggest crowd and brings in the most money, it's not going to work. It's already a failed experiment. It's not going to work. It sounds good on paper until they really put it into reality, into fruition, and put the console on the market, and it doesn't sell because nobody knows what this system is. It's a new kid on the block, and it doesn't have exclusive games to differentiate itself from Nintendo and Sony. And that's what I've been noticing about this generation of gaming. They seem to forget what actually gaming is all about. Fun, creativity, new ways to play a game, and number one, exclusives. Honestly, you have to have something that separates your console, your system, from the competition. And that's why Nintendo has been winning for years, because they have the fun and the best IPs. And not to mention, they always find new ways with every system they come out with to attract gamers. Nintendo has games for everybody, and that's why the grandmothers, the grandpas, the older crowd, kids, everybody, Nintendo has the market covered as far as who their market is. And like my buddy always says, Nintendo knows their market. So Valve has to know its market, and they have a lot of ground to cover. On PC, everything is cool. They don't have to worry about anything, right? And it's funny because I've heard people say that PC gaming is a lot bigger than console gaming. And if you look that information up on Google, Google would say the same thing, but Google isn't always correct. You have to understand, people still put their opinions on there. I don't really think so, because yes, I would say as far as PC, a lot of people have PC in their household, but not everybody has a PC in their house, games on it. And if they do happen to game on it, it'll be a particular type of game they may play, like a PC exclusive, like World of Warcraft. A lot of PC gamers, they're different gamers from console gamers. Console gamers usually plays all type of adventure games, various games, where PC gamers just mostly play like shooters and maybe strategy games and games like World of Warcraft. You understand what I'm saying? So not everybody that has a PC in the household games on a PC. Most people that have PCs in their household, they use it for, work and to search the web. That's about it. Most people don't really game on PC. So maybe over in China and all that, yeah. But I think overall, from my opinion, from what I've been seeing, even even back then, I think console gaming has always been bigger than PC. So I don't know where these people are getting their numbers from. I don't think so. I think the console, as far as playing dedicated games and various games, console gaming is a lot bigger than PC. I would say when Microsoft started pushing, when they started losing their fan base with the Xbox console, they started like pushing people to buy PCs and game on PC, get a PC. I think when Microsoft started pushing PC gaming more than Xbox, that's when it became a lot more popular. So I would say now PC gaming has become just as popular as console gaming. But if you look at the console numbers, they're still selling like they used to sell. Actually, they're selling more, actually. Well, if you don't factor in the PS2, the PS2 is a high selling system. But if you look at console sales from, let's just say from, PS1 and up, consoles has been moving lots of units, selling over 100 million. Because not even the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo even sold that much, and everybody had a Nintendo. So I don't know where those numbers are coming from. I would say there are more people actually investing in PCs now than ever before. But as far as it being bigger than console gaming, that's not true. I think that's a very false statement. I really think that console gaming is way bigger and still is bigger than PC gaming. It always has been. There's only a few people that really game on PC. Only those, people overseas that play certain games. Even here in America, that plays certain, like I said, certain strategy games. Sorry for repeating myself, guys, but hey, I just do that sometimes. But I'm just trying to prove a point here and just make it clear. PC gamers play certain games. They don't really play a lot of the same games they play on console. And every PC gamer that has a PC always has a console. Every single PC gamer always have a Nintendo Switch or a PlayStation. Back in the days when the 360 was a thing, every PC gamer had an Xbox 360. So if PC was really the elite platform, consoles would have been obsolete a long time ago. There would be no more consoles. It'll be all PC, and that hasn't happened. So to back up, to even prove my point that I'm trying to make here, why do you think that Valve is making a console? If PC was so much a bigger platform than consoles, then Valve wouldn't be trying to make a console. It doesn't make any sense. They're going to go where the money is. Logic says in anything you do in life, you're going to go to where the money is. So if PC is a bigger platform, why waste your time and money and for production costs and warehouse space to invest in a niche market, which is consoles, right? It doesn't make any sense. I think that's the internet is just damage control and trying to make it seem like PC is the biggest thing. No, it's not. PC was always niche. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. And there's a lot of people that may disagree with me in the comment section. That's only because they're defending the fact that they have a PC. And there are always trolls out there anyway. So the comment section of YouTube doesn't even really count for me. There's a lot of idiots in the comment section. I mean, no disrespect, just keeping it real. So I think Sony and Nintendo especially Nintendo has nothing to worry about. Valve coming out with a set-top box is very interesting. I mean, I like to see how it plays out. I mean, I'm a lot older now, so I really don't care about keeping up with the latest and greatest anymore. I like to stick to what I know and what I like. I mean, hey, Nintendo does it for me. I'm cool with Nintendo. PlayStation is cool too. It's cool, but they have lost their step. They've been following in Microsoft footsteps. They've been following in the trap that Microsoft set for them. Now, Sony's putting their games on PC. They're really losing their identity. They're going to fall into the same trap as Xbox. So once you're able to play all the latest and greatest IPs that Sony has on PC, Sony's pretty much going to be finished as well sooner or later, because it's going to get to a point everyone's going to ask themselves, why buy a PlayStation where I can play PlayStation games on PC? That was Xbox's problem. Xbox started putting their games on every platform and PC, so what's the point of buying an Xbox? Now Microsoft is feeling that backlash, and they're too stupid to realize, yo, you need exclusive. When you have a console out there, you have to support your console. You have to give people a reason why should I buy an Xbox. Okay, it has Gears of War, it has Halo, it has all these IPs that I cannot get on a Nintendo system and on a Sony system. So that's what make people gravitate towards your system. But I'm sorry, man, exclusivity is a thing and should still be a thing. That's the exclusive games that a console has determines its purpose. That determines their identity. When you think of Nintendo, you think Zelda, Mario, Splatoon, Wave Race, F-Zero. I can go on, right? You can't get those games anywhere else. Now I have people try to challenge me, idiots rather, and would tell me, well, okay, my Steam Deck or my computer can play a Switch. You could play a Nintendo game. You could play any Nintendo game. So you mean tell me you bought a $700 PC handheld just to play Nintendo games? You already lost that argument. If you have a Steam Deck or any PC handheld, okay, then tell me a game that defines a PC, that defines a Steam Deck, that makes me want to go and buy a Steam Deck. That's the thing. So that's what video game companies the big three has to consider when it comes to consoles. Like, okay, why should I buy a Nintendo system? For its first party games, it's creativity. Nintendo has that in the bag. That's why they've been ahead for the last 7 years. The Switch has been kicking butt since the past 7 years, and I see why the Switch is beating everything. Yes, it doesn't have Elden Ring. Yes, it doesn't have Cyberpunk, and a lot of those games could run on the Switch if you hack the Switch, because the Tegra X1 is actually a 4K chip. Nintendo just downclocked it. They locked the chip down. They chose efficiency for the battery over graphics fidelity and frame rate. That's all it is. But they have videos out there you can watch where they have unlocked the frame rate for the Nintendo Switch. They hacked it, they opened it up, and it's running Call of Duty, it's running all those games. It's capable of doing those things. You understand what I'm saying? So nobody can't tell me what games, exclusive games Steam Deck has that makes me want to go buy. I have a Steam Deck because I'm a gamer. I play everything, but I'm talking about the average Joe. Because when you're coming out with a console, you're trying to make money. Because they take hits on console sales, so they have to figure out ways to sell a console, which is a DLC and whatnot. But my thing is, Valve has to figure out who their audience is. Why are we coming out with a console? And why should people buy the console, the average Joe? So, and when it comes to consoles, like I said, console gamers are different. They have a variety of games that people play. So everybody will go and buy a console because there's something for everybody on a console, especially exclusive. So if Valve said, well, we're only targeting people that have Steam accounts, well, it's already a failure. You already failed. You might as well just stick with a PC and stick with the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck is actually a failure. It's a flop. It's funny. Nintendo sold 13. The Wii U sold 13 million and was considered a flop. And everybody laughed and said, oh, see, I told you Nintendo, they should go third party, right? The Steam Deck only sold 3 million. And it's been out for several years. And everybody's cheering it on like it's some kind of success. The Steam Deck is a major flop. It's a niche product. And that's a problem with Valve. They seen what the Nintendo did with the Switch, and they figured, you know what, if we do the same thing as Nintendo, just put a little bit more oomph, more graphics behind it, it'll sell. But it didn't, because that's not what gaming is all about. It's only 1/4 of what gaming is about. The Steam Deck, you can play, it doesn't have exclusive games like Nintendo has that define its platform. So that's what Valve have to do. But I do like that that Steam controller that Valve had with a little the Steam controller. I think that's actually a dope idea. That was very creative on Steam Deck's part. So if they do make a set-top box, aka console, they may come back out with a controller. I think that controller was really dope, but I never really had hands-on with it, so I really can't say if it's actually feasible for a game or if it works with an average game. But Valve has to figure out who their core audience is, and if they're just going after just the people who already have Steam accounts, that's not very convincing. I don't think people are going to go out and buy a Steam console, a Valve console, just for that, because they didn't even do it with the Steam Deck. So why would they do it with the console? So they have to play by the same rules that Nintendo and Sony are doing, which is develop exclusive games to their console so people can go out there and have a reason to buy the console. And something tells me they're not going to do that. They're out of tune when it comes to hardware and what the average gamer looks for in a console. So everything sounds good on paper until you have to put it into reality, into fruition. But and then price is another factor as well. I mean, they can take a loss on it. I've heard somebody say that'd be dope if they come out with a console that has a 4070 GPU. Yeah, it sounds good on paper, man, but if it costs $700 and up, you might as well just get a PC at that point. And people see that person that made a comment. Those are the people that are the problem, really, because they still haven't figured it out. It doesn't matter how much power your console have. It doesn't matter if it has the latest and greatest GPU. People, the average gamer, does not care about that. People just want to play games with ease and have exclusive games that just press the button and it works. Not, oh, how am I going to configure this? Oh, I have to download this profile. I have to download this template. It's not going to work. A console and a PC is entirely two different realms, so it's not going to work. So if Valve want to come out with a console to challenge PlayStation and Nintendo, they have to play by the console rules. That's just what it is. Their console should be able to just be plug and play. You don't have to configure anything. It just works. That's it. And have exclusive games. They're going to have to start making their own exclusive games. They're going to have to come out with a Half-Life 3 that's exclusive to their platform. They have to have their own racing games, their own RPG games, their own adventure games. That's not on any platform, because once those games are available on another platform, even PC, then you're going to ask yourself, the average gamer is going to ask themselves, the mom and dads, any kids, why buy this console work and play it on PC? That's the problem. So, that's what I got to say, man. So something tells me they're not even going to come out with it at all. It's just talks. They're thinking about it. But nah, it'd have been better if Valve had teamed up with like Nintendo or PlayStation to make a console. Then that would have been a lot better. But I don't think Valve would survive at all. They would get eaten alive if they decide to make a console. That's just what it is. I know some people don't want to hear that. The Valve fans may not want to hear that, but that's just what it is. It's not going to happen. Trust me. I mean, having a console that's like a PC and you can potentially play the same games on every other platform, that's not where it's at, guys. Being online all the time, you can't play the games offline. Even though Valve is pretty good with that with a lot of their games, but still. Now, on paper it sounds good, it won't work, and Sony has nothing to worry about. As long as Sony keep putting their games on PC and other platforms and shutting down studios and not coming out with exclusive games, then they would have something to worry about. But if Valve doesn't have the exclusive games, it's not going to help them at all. And even with everything set in stone, I more so lean towards Valve doesn't have its own games, its own exclusive games to challenge Nintendo or Sony. So no, if they had like a library of exclusive games under their belt that they developed themselves, like Nintendo developed Mario and Zelda, PlayStation, God of War, Killzone, etc., then they may have a chance. But they'll have to, man, it's going to take them some years, man, because you look at the OG Xbox, that was a dope system. Great system. I still have it. Great system. Right? But it didn't do good. It sold, what, 23 million? Compared to PlayStation 2's 160 million now. Like, you know what I'm saying? It took them some years. It took them for the 360 for them to actually I think they had it right with the original Xbox, but the reason why they killed it, you know, the story behind with Invaded, Microsoft wasn't seeing a profitable turnover from the OG Xbox and the 360. They did great with that system despite the red ring issues and the fast production. They did everything right with the 360. 360 was Microsoft's last greatest console. That's when they really did everything right with the exclusives and everything. That system was perfect, man. It is great with that system. But it took them several years, and for the 360 to come out, for them to really make a name for themselves. But then we know what happened when the Xbox One came out. So Valve, hey, I'm a small channel, but if you're watching this, you see my video, the only way you're going to survive is by playing by the console rules, having your own exclusive games by the bunch to even stand a chance. And you have to look at the long-term goal on what you're trying to do. You can't just put a platform out there just to put a platform out there, just to have something out there in between the PlayStation and the Nintendo. It's just not going to work. If you're going to come out with a console, it has to be, that's what you intend to do for years on end. Because Nintendo didn't come into the industry saying, oh, we're just going to make the Super Nintendo and that's it and we're done with gaming. Nah, they kept it going. They know their market, they know the market, they know what video games is all about. And that's why they're still here, and that's why they're doing their thing. But we'll see what happens, guys, in this crazy world, man, and how rapidly tech is moving forward. I mean, anything goes, anything is up for grabs, and anything can happen. So I'm not hating on Valve. I actually like Valve, but Valve is not a hardware company. And we've seen what happened to Xbox. So yeah, their core heart is not in gaming. Microsoft core heart is not in gaming. So, and that's why they're failing. Steam, their core heart is not with making hardware. They're just a storefront that happens to sell games. Made some money, came out with a Steam Deck, and now they're feeling like they're too big for their britches. They feeling like they can challenge the big three, but they have to do it right. Once you decide to come out with a console, you have to play on the console level. That's just what it is. Alright, Red Crimson 101 signing out. Let me know, guys, what you all think about Valve wanting to come out with a console. Do you think they'll survive? Do you think there will be a worthy challenge to PlayStation and Nintendo? I mean, will they shake the industry up with a under the TV set-top box? You think it's a bad idea? Is it a good idea? Let me know in that comment section, man. And if you're new to my channel, you already know what to do, man. Like and subscribe. I would love to hear y'all comments on this situation. Salute. Hope y'all had a nice Thanksgiving, because mine was. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. I hope you guys are ready for Christmas. And that's about it, man. Let me know, man, what you guys think about it. Valve trying to come out with a set-top box console, man. Let me know. Yeah.